welcome to Energetic Fuckery. My name is Laura Mazzotta. I'm a spiritual therapist of 20 years and a Akashic Records mentor. This is Jenna Greengold. She can't stop laughing.
I
She
really like
is
that.
a consciousness bitch. That's what we're calling her today.
Mm, okay.
Her website will be up and running shortly, so her title will follow. Maybe, maybe not, because she just kind of wants to be her. So that's where we are. Um, we don't know if this is going to be a series or not, and we don't care because we flow with the energy. And today we're talking about energetic fuckery, which is why she's laughing, because we're starting with this concept of drinking out of a glass and drinking out of a straw, and particularly a Stanley tumbler. No, this is not an advertisement for Stanley.
Though
But
you do
the reason,
welcome.
yes, we're using this. See, and this is painful to witness her drinking out of a glass right now, and it's
I
painful for
really
her.
don't like it.
Right. And this is the perfect example of energetic fuckery that we're using as a gateway into a deeper conversation about these concepts. So
Hmm.
please tell us about your debacle with drinking out of a glass.
It just doesn't feel right. I
Right.
feel
It
like I'm
does.
not getting as nourished, babe.
She's not as deeply nourished as when she
I'm
drinks out of
not.
a straw.
It's making me angry. That's
Yes.
okay. I need to release
Yeah.
that.
Correct.
But
Well, and this
still,
it's like
but
reverberating
still.
through her body in a way that just doesn't feel good, which is why she wants to buy the Stanley reverb.
Oh my God. Right.
Right.
Okay. I like that. I
Right.
do
You
want to
like
buy
that
the
segment?
Stanley
Yeah.
Reaver, but I
Yeah.
am so glad I'm done with this. Oh my God.
So it's a perfect example of how things can feel really fucking weird in your body. And you're like, this seems like an odd nuance that people wouldn't understand. However, it's deeply understood by the people who can see and feel your soul and know who you are and know how your energy operates. And I think
Mhm.
it's a celebration for our discernment and what does feel good on our body and what doesn't. And it's an opportunity to also celebrate our relationship with our bodies and that we're receiving cues from it. And I think this is where people get stuck because it's like, oh, I want to analyze why. Like, why does this bother me? And it's like, who cares why? Who cares
Yeah.
why? The universe is abundant. You have resources. Pick something else that fits. You don't have to analyze it. And then you can find
Mhm.
your little roadmap of things that fit in your life.
Hmm.
But one thing you said that was making us laugh was that maybe you were drinking out of a drinking glass because you picked up attachments.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I picked something up. Maybe that's why this isn't resonating. Uh, it's just because I got so pissy this weekend.
Tell me about it, please.
Because I went and had a Reiki session with someone, and they've said something to me about how whenever you start thinking differently or feeling differently, and or like not like yourself, quote unquote yourself, that it just means that you pick something up, like an attachment or an entity or something. And that just made me like, get fucked. Like, no. Because that's the everything is energy. We're not picking shit up. And like I said to you, I was like, this just look at me holding this as if I'm drinking. I,
Let it go. Let it go.
I was like, no, it just feels like bypassing to me because if you're going to attribute all these things that you start feeling in your body or that you're thinking differently or if you're hurt or you're sad or you're even happy, like any type of like, is that you're going to attribute that to something else outside of you rather than an energy that you're receiving that's from source? Like, why would you just say, oh, that's something else? Let me get rid of it and then I'm fine. It's like, no, just
Yeah,
no.
I think it's outsourcing, and I just think that it's outsourcing your power and not recognizing how much sovereignty and responsibility you have to choose your vibration and choose your
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes into like that stuff with like protection, like from what exactly? You know, like why do I have
Hmm.
to protect myself from whatever may come in? Don't you want to be welcoming in energies? Not energies seen as attachments, but like anything.
Any energies, and that's the fact. That's what I always say is like source created all of it. So let's say there
Mhm.
are attachments and entities and energies that let's say that you do believe that. Okay, well, source energy created all of it. So
Mhm.
let's come into communion with it. Like let's or at least just get curious about it.
Yeah, because and that's something that I think we've talked about in the past where if you don't see something as divine and as of source, then you are robbing it of its own divinity.
Mm. Mm.
Because why would you look at something as an attachment or as bad? Or because when you do that, you're not allowing yourself to see all of it. You're not allowed to
Correct.
receive, you're not letting yourself receive all of it. Sorry, go ahead.
You're not letting yourself receive all of like the codes within it that are being
Yeah.
expressed to you or offered to you. And I love this because it's the perfect reflection and confirmation of how human this perspective is, because we do the same shit with human beings
Hmm.
where, we can't see past their shit, right? And we're not seeing all of them. We're not seeing all layers of them. We're not seeing into the depths of them because we're just labeling it as bad. You
Hmm.
acted bad. You did
Hmm.
this, or you
Yeah.
embodied it, and therefore. And it's like I said to you before we started this, when we were talking about something else, where it's like, I get to honor and appreciate your resonance without having to decide to engage with it.
Yeah.
Like you can have a resonance that stands alone, that's like completely your own, that you've chosen, and vibrate away. Like do your thing. Oh, that could be turned into
Vibrate away.
so many conversations. But vibrate away. But like I'm vibrating in my resonance over here. And just like your drinking glass versus your Stanley tumbler, it's like, do I need to analyze why your resonance doesn't feel good in my body necessarily, or feels kind of like, I don't know, there's something there that's just like, I don't know. Right.
Yeah.
And there's a difference there. And that's where getting to know ourselves and getting to know our energy really comes into play, because there's a difference between my body's in resistance to that, and I need to be with that resistance so that I can receive all of this. And this is truly not a match. Right.
Mm.
Right now, this isn't a match right now. And I don't have to choose to engage with that resonance, but I can celebrate the fuck out of yours. Like, go nuts, dude. Like, we need different spectrums of resonance and frequency on this planet.
People who
Absolutely.
drink out of glasses.
Correct. We do.
Literally moving it further and further away from me during
Right.
this
I mean, this is why there's a
conversation.
drinking glass, company and companies that compete with one
Mm.
another, because there's a lot of people who appreciate different kinds of drinking glasses. But that's the thing. Like, you don't have to analyze why something isn't a quote unquote fit for you, whether this is a person,
Yeah,
a situation, da-da. It's just like, it's just trusting
it
that,
just is.
yes, it just is. And the other thing that I want to bring forward here is something that we talked about briefly earlier, which is also recognizing that, yeah, I may not choose to snuggle with your resonance, right? Whether it be a drinking glass or whatever you're engaged in, or your being itself.
Mm.
But that doesn't mean that my door is closed to that forever. That means that I'm honoring the current moment and season that I am in.
Hmm.
And I'm also always open. That
Hmm.
resonance can shift. That resonance can change. That's okay. Like, that's cool.
Do you think that if you weren't as open, you would still feel the resonance like not click with you? Like, would you have that discernment if you weren't as open to where then you would allow yourself to consistently feel like rubbed up against with those things and allowing them to still be there? Because you wouldn't have the discernment to be like, that's not for me right now.
I don't know. I don't know if it has to do with openness to like things in my field or in the field, as much as it
Mhm.
has to do with spacious presence with my own resonance.
Mm.
Because if I'm in spacious presence with my own resonance, then regardless of how open I am to things outside of me, it's very, very clear when a resonance bumps up against mine and does not feel aligned. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, it's the communion with self rather than the openness of the field.
Yes. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like to me. And for me, I need then more spaciousness and openness to receive more of me.
Mhm.
from within, from source, from whatever is being presented to me. And as I'm with that and really prioritize that and deepen my devotion to that, my awareness just gets honed and my discernment is really sharp, whether I'm quote unquote open or not externally.
Hmm. Hmm.
What comes up for you around that? Anything else?
No, I mean, I agree with you. I was just thinking about the receipt of energies when we're quote unquote open or not, and how they would then feel to us. But at the same time, I feel like it's kind of irrelevant
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to come regardless.
Right. They are. And I think which is exactly why when this brings us right back full circle to you talking about protection. This is
Hmm.
why protection, in my opinion, is not necessary.
I agree.
Because when you talk about calling in all these protections, to me, that is you abdicating the responsibility for coming into devoted open spaciousness within your own field and full clarity on who you are and how you operate and the
Yeah.
edges, non-edges that you desire to operate in within your own field.
Yeah. And the presence within yourself.
Hmm.
Because at that point, you're just kind of like, I don't know, it feels like you're kind of, I don't want to say shutting off, but you're kind of like stepping away from yourself in
Hmm.
a way because you're putting some protection barrier, quote unquote protection, around yourself and kind of sealing you in a specific state.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I feel like, yeah, you could find less spaciousness within that armor.
Oh, absolutely.
It depends on how closely you place it, right? You can move
Hmm.
that armor back and forth
Hmm.
if you want, but yeah, that's really interesting because it's true. Like I don't think protection is necessary because for me, it's like, oh, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Like I just know like that
Yeah.
because as my discernment enhances, and I can tell also as I grow, I get more and more evidence of this because
Hmm.
it's like I then become more aware of the things that are not in resonance with who I'm becoming as I shift. And then I'm able to I'm able to tell very, very quickly whether something is a match. And I'm able to tell very quickly whether my body's just having a tantrum. And I
Hmm.
think that's the intimacy with self that we continue to grow and that continues to unfold over the course of life as we have new interactions with energies, like you said, that are always coming at us, whether it's through human beings, whether it's through something else, experiences, et cetera, that we get to continue to be in that discerned presence in our own space and kind of filtering in and out, like what's feeling resonant. And as you do that, your path continues to be carved.
Yeah. And you continue to grow more and more. And I feel like we don't expand and we don't grow when we continue to say that shit is attaching to us or that we're like, that we need to protect ourselves from something to keep us in a specific state.
Yeah, and it's funny because like for that, I feel like we still do grow because there's still energy flowing. So I do think we grow, but I think that's where some self-sabotage can come in.
Mm.
And it's not intentional, it's not a conscious decision, but I think that it's this way of staying smaller and
Yeah.
of growing more slowly.
Yeah.
Um, and again, outsourcing your power and to other people and situations
Hmm.
and saying like, well, I can't, I used to do this. I mean, I used to be like, well, I can't grow because, or I just can't get there yet because this person's doing, and it's like, and then when I finally realized, actually, I'm the only one who can claim what I want for my life. I'm the
Hmm.
only one who can access my highest joy. And if anybody's getting in my way, then that's because I'm not claiming responsibility for my own path enough because I can do whatever I want. And I don't have to determine my next steps based on somebody else's tantrum or resistance.
Mm. Hmm.
I can
I
hold
like
them in
that.
it and see them in it and be like, hey, dude, I see you. Like, been there, done that. I totally get it. And like, you come grow with me. Like, let's go. You know, I'm
Yeah.
here for it, but I'm also totally here for the fact that you might not like want to, or not at the place where that's meant for your path. And that's again
Mhm.
where seasons come in. Like that's
Mm.
totally cool. Be in your season, I'll be in mine. And if our seasons converge again, awesome. Let's have a great time. And if not, like you're a rock
That's
star and
okay too.
vibrate
Yeah.
away.
Vibrate away.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add to this? This
No,
is
please end it there. That because that was beautiful. Vibrate away.
okay. This is excellent. We're going to end this here and we will be back with some energetic fuckery as dictated by source and the energies around us. And if not, we'll come back with another episode regardless with a different
Mm.
topic. Thanks for
Mm.
being here, friend.
Yeah.
All right. Bye,
It was
people.
fun.
Yes. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.